I turned 18, I never went back to church again because then it was my choice.
You were within me, but I was outside you.
Church is okay sometimes. It's, nothing's wrong with it.
And it was there that I searched for you.
I find it hard to find a church that's really open to everybody.
It was there that I searched for you. Your voice, it thunders, the oaks start twisting, the forest sounds with cedars breaking, the water's singing.
Well, we're going to try to tell a story today about where the orchard's come from and where it needs to go, where God's calling it to go, how we can all be a part of it. We're going to tell a story today. We're going to get a unique perspective on Loganville, the area that surrounds the orchard. I remember right before the orchard started, I was able to get in a plane and fly around. There were a couple of folks interested in showing us around Loganville and what was there. It was really cool 9 years ago to be in the air, and I bet a lot has changed. We're going to find out. But we're going to head up and we're going to show you the place where we had our very first little gathering as Orchard folks. 9 years ago, the summer of 2001, we began gathering a launch team. Those 10 people just had a dream that God could use them to do greater things. And if each one of us has that same passion, God will use us in the same way. God wants to use us to do greater things. I don't believe for a second that God is done with us, that he wants us to stay where we're at, that he wants us to get comfortable, that he wants us to just be satisfied. God's calling us to greater things. Yeah, we had like our first, 10 meetings in that house. And then we started having them in different launch team members' houses all over Loganville. And we're gonna go look at Loganville Middle School quickly, which was our first place of worship, which is right there. We were here making a difference in the community, and over the years, hundreds of people have come not only to know Jesus, but to walk more closely to him and live a life that is more aligned with God's purposes for their life. And here's Loganville High School on the rise, and that was our second place where we met in worship. We grew in worship from about 150 people to about 275 there, and then that's the place that we left to our current campus. It's really cool to be up here and to be able to look out at the houses and developments, and it's obvious that so many of them were not here. Every single person in that neighborhood right there has moved in since the orchard started. Every single person has almost moved in since we moved to our current campus 3 years ago. And sometimes we think that Loganville's going to stay the same. History says it hasn't stayed the same. Chances are very, very high that it's not going to stay the same in the future. And if the orchard stays the same, we're going to miss an opportunity to do what God's calling us to do, which is to grow new and stronger followers of Jesus. We have the same people walking in the door as we do today. A year or two from now, there'll be sadness in the kingdom, because that'll mean that our hearts have not been caught up in what God's doing. There are 5 million people that live in Atlanta. There are about 200,000 people that live within 10 miles of the orchard, and we're just expected to continue to grow. Studies tell us that we're going to grow by over 26% over the next 5 years, and that almost 50,000 people will be moving into this area. And you know what? They all need a church. They all need a place to call home. They all need a family who will love it and care for them. They all need a relationship with God and figure out who Jesus is. And we believe that God is calling us to greater things.
People of God, rise up.
We're about to see the orchard, and we're about to see the orchard campus. We moved in here 3 years ago, And as you guys know, the campus has been well used. The buildings have been really well used. And it's time that we update our buildings a little bit. It's time that we create a place that's more hospitable for youth and children. It's time that we improve how the Orchard is seen in the community. Here's the property right here that we want to purchase. And what we want to do up front here is build a pond where the community can come and enjoy it and just increase the overall appeal of our front entrance, and also create a place where the community feels welcome to come to. Right now we feel like we're a little bit back off the road, and we are. We're several thousand feet back, well, a couple of thousand feet back off the road. And there's a Sasser house. We want to turn that house into offices, and then we actually want to build a youth center. We want to build a third building that would be a youth center, would always be used for, would also be used for different ministries outside of youth. I think we can imagine what it would be like to have a big looping jogging trail here on the perimeter of our property. We think we can make one that would be about 3/4 or a mile long, and it would just be a community draw. It'd be a place where the community could come, and moms and their strollers and kids and could just come and be part of who we are. This would be a back entrance to the Orchard. Right now it's gravel and red mud, but we want to pave it, and we want to create a place for the community to come in from the community side. Sometimes the traffic's a little fast on the highway, and it'll also be a back entrance where this morning we left the Orchard and there were 11 cars backed up out on Highway 81, and we just want to continue to be prepared for what God's going to bring us, and create again that place where the outside looks like the inside, and we're able to communicate to the Loganville community that what's going on inside the Orchard is really, really special and really, really unique. And we just want to invite people to come be part of that. We would like to expand our playground facilities for our children and create some spaces for families to come and enjoy outside of the hours of church. And we definitely need more parking. I was leaving this morning, and we were parked 3 deep off the pavement. We had as many cars in the gravel as we had on pavement this morning. And so we basically need to double our parking right now, and if we're planning for the future, we could even triple our parking. These are good buildings, but they're not what we need for the future. They're what we needed for last year. They're not what we're going to need for next year.
You make me new. You are making me new.
Rich is out in the parking lot, and we're going to try to find a place to land here, and we're going to talk to Rich a little bit about the needs of our youth group. I don't know if you know what's happened with youth group in 633 lately, but it's rocking, and that's one of the big places we need more room for. We can continue to grow in that area. 19% of people who live in this area are grade school age. And so it's a huge need for our church to be able to provide a space for and reach those kids who are that age.
Hey, we just thought we'd land. We're planning for Rich to be here, and just want to talk to him a little bit about what's going on in youth group, especially on Wednesday nights. And Rich, we started 633 back in September, and just tell us a little bit about what's happened since then.
Well, a lot of exciting things. We got a lot more students coming, a lot of new students. They've been really excited about the format.
We've been having crowds of almost 100 folks when we count the kids and the adults.
Leaders, right.
And then, so they meet for basically an hour,
right.
And you teach and have some fun game stuff, and then they break out.
Right.
And right now, when they break out, we're limited with space.
We've been limited with space big time, not only for our grow groups because they take up the whole campus, but actually even just trying to do anything recreational.
You got a dream for a skate park and reaching some kids who other ministries just don't reach them.
Yeah, most churches, when a kid shows up with a skateboard, the churches typically say, don't bring your skateboard here. We're the kind of church that says, hey, we want to accept you for who you are, come as you are, and we're going to provide a place for you to skate.
I love that line. We're a church that says, bring your skateboard. How about that?
So imagine what would happen if we had enough space. On Wednesday night, we had a program for the younger kids. We had a program for the older kids. We had a program for parents, and everybody can come together. Now, Ben, when we did this ministry at other places, we went from a student ministry of 15 students to well over 700 because the grow group's effective, because of skate ministry, because of recreational space. There are things that kids love to do. And we basically are tapping into their culture and saying, what can we do to help you enjoy being here?
Right now, the skate park equipment communicates to the kids, but a better space would communicate to the parents and the community that we love kids, and we love kids who have skateboards. One of the things I really appreciate about Rich is when he came here, we immediately started talking. Do we have a youth group or youth ministry? And Rich's heart is totally have a youth ministry where kids are led to do ministry themselves. and we need to get an opportunity to do that.
What's more exciting than that? It's the porch man leading the worship. It's students leading AV. We are equipping folks, we're equipping students now to be leaders now, not leaders in the future, leaders now. And that's going to impact the church in the future. And my goal too is in the future that the adults are so behind the scenes investing in equipping the kids. The students are the ones running every aspect of the ministry and being brought up by these adults.
Yeah, good stuff.
Heaven is breaking open.
So, Mikey, we're getting ready for our Greater Things campaign, and just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what's going on in children's ministry. Cool. And you know, one of our goals is to expand our gathering space for children and youth. Yeah. And looks like we got some things going on in here. Tell me what's going on in it right here, right now.
What's happening is on Sunday morning, we are at like maximum capacity. A couple Sundays ago, we had 154 kids, and if you saw the size of our room, you'd know that that is just as much as we can have. So we need a bigger place.
When we can completely remodel this place, when we can expand it a little bit, by this being nothing but children's area, when we can move our offices out of here, when we can create another place for youth ministry. I don't know, we'd provide maybe 1,500 more square feet for children, and that's won't last forever, but it'll get us part of the way where we need to go. What's it going to mean?
It is going to be huge. It's going to open us up to so many more possibilities. We already have a Wednesday night program in the works. It's awesome. We have great ideas, but we have no place to put it. So we're talking about if we're going to put it down the street or where it's going to be.
Yeah, we've literally been talking about doing a Wednesday night children's program off campus lately.
One of the things we do on Sunday mornings, we start with a large group, big games, big message. Then we break up into smaller groups. We'll be able to do it in more classrooms and bigger spaces. We'll be able to have more of those small grow groups. And it'll benefit the kids, it'll benefit the teachers, and it'll be huge for us.
What have you seen happen recently in Treehouse in terms of kids understanding God for the first time, getting to know Christ? I know we talked with one little boy about being baptized recently.
Yeah. We had a little kid come up to us on Christmas Eve and came to me and said, Mr. Mikey, I want to get baptized. And it was just really cute. But we have kids that want to know God more. It's crazy. Every single week, they're just like sucking in that knowledge and getting to know who He is better. We have parents coming to tell us all the time that my kid, I caught him reading the Bible, or my kid wants to pray at dinner. My kid told me all about Zacchaeus, and he learned about him 5 months ago. And just really cool stuff, and it just shows that what we're doing is really working. One thing that's really cool, we also started a 4th and 5th leadership program called the L Team. These are kids that are in 4th and 5th grade. They're this tall. Every single week they're reading the Bible by themselves, they're praying by themselves, they're telling their friends about God, they're inviting their friends to the orchard, and that we're growing them as leaders this young. And those are the same kids that when they get to youth group, they'll instantly be ready to lead. And we hope when they go into life that it's just going to equip them with all these leadership skills, and it's really awesome. It's already starting to pay off, and we just started a couple months ago.
Have my heart completely.
Yeah, and if we hadn't taken steps of faith all along the way, I mean, there was one step into that house, there was a step out of that house, there was the step into the middle school and the high school, and then the step onto this property. If we hadn't taken that step of faith, we wouldn't be where we're at right now. Many of you wouldn't be part of the orchard right now. And I'm confident that God wants us to take another step of faith this year. And it's going to be amazing to see what God's going to do, because who would have guessed just a few years ago that the orchard would have grown like it has. We've grown at a rate of about 20% a year, and it's just been amazing, and God has greater things planned for us, and we want every single person here to be part of that journey and to find satisfaction in it. And we're never going to be done, but along the way we're going to celebrate, and we're going to thank God for calling us to do greater things. I say that I get to be the pastor of the orchard on Sunday morning, and I hope that for every person at the orchard that you feel that you get to be part of our ministry, because it's an exciting thing to be part of a growing church that really is reaching people with the good news. It's an exciting thing to be part of a growing church that really is reaching outside of its doors to accept folks wherever they are, to share the love of God with them. And we're glad you're on the journey.